Hello adventurers and welcome back to my channel. Today we are at Silver Dollar City where we're going to be doing something pretty special. Over this past year they've added a few different kinds of things for us as we visit. And today we're going to be exploring the tasting passports. Okay, to come pick up your tasting passport, you need to come into Hannah's Ice Cream Shop, and at the register you can purchase one of these. Now if you do have a season pass, you get a little bit of a discount, so keep that in mind. Now with this we have a lot of different options which we're going to be exploring in just a moment. I can't wait. Now a few tips if you are getting the tasting passport. Lunchtime, dinner time, always busy. So if you can, get the tasting passport and go to those places kind of during the off times. Otherwise you're going to be standing in a much longer line. Also, the tasting passport is just that. It is a tasting of the foods that are available. So for $30 you actually get 5 different portions of all the different things throughout the park, which gives you a good sampling. Keep that in mind. Some of the portion sizes are not as large as they typically would be whenever you're going to the different places. So this is a great way for you as a single person traveling throughout the park to really fill up on smaller bites. And I love that because typically I can only get 1 or 2 things, but with the tasting passport I can get several different things that I may not have tried before. I think today, making our first punch, we're going to try the autumn pork belly skillet from the Dockside Grill. This sounds absolutely delicious, and being from Texas where they have pork belly in pretty much everything, this should be good. Now if you're looking for the Dockside Grill, it is right across from Mystic River Falls, so it's super easy to find. It's right before you actually enter into the kids area, so super easy, and really excited about this one. Let's go stand in line. Okay, we have our first small bite and this looks delicious. Now typically I'm not a huge fan of cherry tomatoes. I'm just going to start off there. However, I can pick around it, and also these are cooked really well, so they actually aren't solid, so they don't have that same texture that I don't love. But I'm really excited. This is actually a decent sized portion of a skillet. The larger ones that I've had previous aren't that much bigger than this one, so I'm really super excited to dive in. Now let's talk about what's inside this first before we actually eat it. Okay, inside of this we have obviously the pork belly, but we also have white sweet potatoes, we have butternut squash, there are some onions in here, and then the cherry tomatoes themselves. So doesn't this look delicious? Okay, Silver Dollar City, don't disappoint me with this one. I am looking forward to this, and right off the bat we have pork belly. Oh wow, a burst of flavor. Now the pork belly of this is very tender, so it just kind of melts as you eat it, and it has a very nice flavor that you can tell comes over from those sweet potatoes just a little bit. So all in all, I'm pretty pleased with this one so far. I'm gonna try to get a little bit of maybe a piece of the sweet potato and maybe a piece of that butternut squash all in here together. Yeah, here we go. Oh yeah. Now I will say this, as a person who is here by myself, I appreciate the fact that they have these smaller portions because it does allow me to try new things, which otherwise I would just stick to my typical staples. Okay guys, this is not included in the tasting passport, but definitely an essential if you come to Silver Dollar City, picking up one of their collective mugs. These things are awesome, and they give you discounts throughout the park on additional drinks. So because I have a season pass, I actually get one of these for free. That's another benefit of the season pass, just kind of keep that in mind. And with all the walking in the park, definitely appreciated. Yeah. Right. Okay, I pulled up the app, and as you can see here, they actually have a walking icon. So if you're going through the park, you can actually follow the map to the T, so that's what we're doing. And we're on our way to Buckshot Skillet Cookery, where they have something that has coconut curry. And that's right here on the tasting passport. Buckshot Skillet Cookery, pumpkin, coconut, chicken curry, and rice. I think that sounds delicious and a little bit different than the skillet that we just had. Now I'm looking forward to this one a lot because I love curry. So I'm interested to see Silver Dollar City's take on curry and how they've introduced something a little different than norm here in the park. So without further ado, we're a 3-minute walk away from what could be possibly my favorite. Looks like at this one they have 4 different options. I'm getting that coconut curry though, but they also have like a pulled pork and then a skillet and a big huge sausage. Okay, stop 2 for our tasting passport, and we waited in line about 15 minutes. That wasn't too bad. It smells delicious. You can definitely smell the sweetness from the pumpkin inside of it, and it has this small bed of rice. Now, I will say this, these little things right here need a napkin under them because they're super, super hot. But now is the time we've been waiting for, this little first bite. And I'm gonna make sure I get a little bit of chicken, a little bit of the curry, and a little bit of the rice. Oh yeah, that is like a warm hug on an already warm day, but it is delicious. It is a bold, full flavored curry, but not too spicy. For somebody who's wanting to try out some curry for the first time, this is a great way to do it because it has a little bit of sweetness to it. Not anything overpowering. This is really good. I'm gonna finish eating this and then we'll get on to punch number 3. I had to take a minute just to show you all something though. Look at this chicken. So it's large pieces of chicken, but they just kind of shred apart so easily within this. It's amazing because they've been soaking in this curry sauce, and you can tell because each and every bite has just this wonderful flavor to it. Okay, that one was super good, and I cleaned my plate. That was delicious. So we're off now to find our third option, and already, again, I have 5 of these punches to go. We've only done 2 so far, and I'm starting to feel very full, so we may have to walk it out a little bit before that. But what better place to walk it out than a theme park, right? It's getting a little bit later in the day, and I've been walking around making some room for more goodies on the tasting passport. So far I've only clicked 2 of the 5 boxes. I'm telling you, these portion sizes, even though they are smaller, are still enough to fill you up pretty rapidly. So I think next we're gonna find something else. I'm not sure yet. I don't know quite what I want to eat. I'm thinking maybe something a little bit sweet. I think I deserve that. So if we're looking for something sweet, we could go over to Dockside again and stop off and get an apple dumpling, or we could kind of make our way over to the Dumpkins Apple Shack. They have caramel apples. Or let's see what else. We have pumpkin hand pies. There's a pumpkin cheesecake funnel cake. That sounds actually pretty good. And then also we have Dippin' Dots that are pumpkin? I don't know. So sweet definitely is what we're going to go for. I just have to figure out where it is. So I think we're going to consult our app again. That app is so handy. Okay, in order to make this work, we just go to our app, we go to dining, and we're looking for Fanny's funnel cakes, I think. Let's see where it is. Here it is, and get directions. So this is where we are, and we need to go back in this direction, this way. So the direction from whence we came. And the nice thing is, if you have your geo tracker on as you go, it'll actually show you following the map. So definitely recommend doing that also. I think that the map is super helpful for anyone who it's their first time to come to Silver Dollar City, but also if you feel like you sometimes get turned around, this is a great way for you to navigate around without feeling lost. Okay, so here we are at Fanny's, and we're about to check our third box. Okay, we're waiting on our funnel cake, and we went ahead and picked up a refill. They're only $1.49, way better than having to buy a big drink every time. Again, get one of these, they're great. Okay, we found a place to eat our next one, and this is our amazing dessert, which I've only had 2 meals in here somehow, and yet we're eating dessert, but I needed something sweet, so I thought that this would be a great thing for us to kind of dive into. Now, this is not your typical funnel cake. It is, but it's not. Now, bear with me. It's a funnel cake with all the powdered sugar, but look at this, pumpkin butter. I am super psyched about this one, and I'm kind of happy it took me a minute to find a seat because this thing was super hot. I wasn't going to be able to dig into it for a couple minutes anyway. So now that we've gotten to a more stationary location, look at this. Oh, look at that dough. It is nice and fluffy, and I'm just going to dip it right into the pumpkin butter. Oh yeah, super, super good pumpkin butter. It's a nice consistency, a little bit more firm. So whenever you put it onto something that's kind of crispy like this, it really melts into there a little bit, but it still holds up so it can be, you know, on its own. I'm going to love this. Okay, we're getting to the sad reality of this. I lose with food. Oh my gosh. The food portions here are just the right size, and at the same time they're slightly too big. It's kind of a weird thing. Like when I sat down and ate the 2 main courses, they were perfect. I was able to eat them, walk around a little bit, and feel absolutely amazing. But even though this is a personal size of funnel cake, because it's so sweet, it's a lot of funnel cake. So even though some of these sizes are not the full size, they're still a lot of bang for your buck. And I was kind of looking at some of the different menus and seeing how much the prices were for the full-size options. And to get like a full-size funnel cake, a regular one, it's like $7, $8, depending on what you're getting. But if you're getting the topping on it, it goes up to like $11. So we're definitely getting a good value right now with the tasting passport. Also, for the curry chicken while ago, I looked at the portion size versus a regular portion size, and there wasn't that much of a difference. There was a little bit, but not that much. And the regular portion is normally about $11.50, something like that. And so we're getting a good value. Now, some of the items that they have on the tasting passport are full size items. So for example, the sausage that we saw earlier on the menu, full size. The tater twist, full size. So you're definitely getting a ton of value from that as well. So for now, I'm trying to figure out if I can eat any more of this. I'm getting so full, and we still have 2 punches. While we're sitting here, I thought it would be a great time for us to take advantage of talking about the passport just a little bit and how it really helps out to have the app. So by downloading the Silver Dollar City app, you have access to the maps, ride times, and show schedules, but also it helps you to locate all of the dining options. Like we used earlier, we could use the map itself. But by kind of going onto the app, you can see that dining options here, these are all of the different places that have food in the park. And if you're comparing it to the passport itself, you'll see that most of these places actually are on here, so it makes it a lot easier to figure out where they are and how to get there, things like that. But also, in addition, you can go on here and you can view it on the map overall, and not just for directional purposes. Kind of shows you where you are versus where you need to be. So like for example, on the map right now, I am this blue dot over here, and I'm pretty far away from Crossroads Pizza. So instead, I might want to zoom in and find out if there are any dining options near me, and then kind of look at my passport and see if any of those are on it. That just makes a little bit better use of your time while here in the park. I'm all about finding little hacks like that to just make life easier when you're navigating. That helps with some of the crowds, especially on the weekends. So by using things like the app, it can just streamline your process just a little bit. And with this tasting passport, that comes in handy because the lines can get pretty lengthy. Now again, eat at off times if you can, that will really help. But by using the app, shave a few more of those little seconds and minutes off of the day to make it a little bit more productive. Last, we have 2 punches left, and I know where I want to spend one of these. Oh, do I have the room? Do I have the room? Okay, next up, we're gonna get, I think, an apple dumpling. I cannot wait. Okay, adventurers, we found a nice, cool place to sit down. Now, I am back here for day 2 of the tasting passport because I could not complete all 5 punches in one day. And I thought I'd start off today with the sweets because they sounded so good. There just wasn't room for them the other day. So this is an apple dumpling with, I think, pumpkin ice cream. And as you can see, a lot going on here today at Silver Dollar City. It's a little wild, it's a little crazy. Now, with that said, I'm ready to dig in and I can't wait. This just smells so good, and let's just get a little cool here first. Yes, pumpkin ice cream. That is my jammy jam. If you saw me over at Shepherd of the Hills, you already know. But now let's break into this a little bit. It's a nice big portion. Now typically if you were to buy this portion by itself, it would be like $6.95, but it's included in the passport. It is served with caramel on top, a big, huge apple. Oh my gosh, this melts in your mouth. Food coma. I already see it coming today. Okay, we have 1 punch left on our tasting passport here, and I don't know what it's gonna be. I'm thinking maybe something savory. I'm just not sure, but I do know this. We're gonna have to walk off this apple dumpling just a little bit because that was very filling. That was a full-size portion. Okay, it's time for punch number 5, and we are at Hatfield's Tater Patch where we picked up the pumpkin tater tumbler. And this is what it looks like. So there are these 2 little balls of potato goodness that have apparently a pumpkin vanilla sauce on top. So I figured this was a little savory but a little bit sweet and a perfect way to end our passport here at Silver Dollar City. Okay, this is what we've been waiting for, the last bite of our trip here to the Harvest Festival at Silver Dollar City. The tasting passport has been well worth the investment of $30. That's all I can say. I have tried so many things that otherwise I might not get to. I do hope that every festival for sure has this option. But enough of that, let's get down to the nitty-gritty. Let's see what we think about these Tater Tumblers. They have a kind of sweet smell to them, so I'm hoping we're not overwhelmed with sweets again today. Yesterday, I definitely burned myself out with that funnel cake because it was just so good, but it definitely put a fork in me and I was done. I did want to give you kind of an illustration of the size of these though first. So you have 2 tater tumblers, and this is the size of like my cell phone. So altogether they make up almost the size of my cell phone overall. Now, I didn't know if there were 2 or 3 in this, and whenever I got it, I'm kind of happy that there's only 2 because these are going to be dense pieces of yumminess. But look at this. So whenever we pull them apart, it's almost like a hash brown on the inside. Look at that up close. It looks like it has a dough and then also like a shredded potato in there. And this is supposed to have some pumpkin notes in it. So here we go. Why do I do this to myself? Why do I fill myself to the brim for you guys? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. These are really yummy. Okay, now that I finished chewing, let's talk about it. The outside crust is this crispy goodness. So whenever you crunch down into it, you have that nice, almost like potato chip texture to it. And then you get the hash brown kind of notes from the shredded potatoes. And then you can definitely taste the pumpkin. Oh my goodness, that is so good, but it's not overwhelming. And I would love to know how they make these so I can make some of these for myself at home. I'm just gonna dissect this and just keep digging in because this might be one of my favorites. Clean Plate Club. That was delicious. Okay, adventurers, this is a perfect time for us to wrap up our tasting passport. We had 5 different dishes for $30, and some were full-sized and some of them
were slightly smaller tasting portions. It took me 2 days to go through 5 punches because the food here is so filling. But we had both savory and sweet options, and this is a great way for you to try out different things when you come to the park during the holidays. So if you're here at Silver Dollar City and they're offering a tasting passport, try one. You won't regret it. Till next time, guys. Bye.